Who among you, by worrying, can add a single moment to your life? Boy, does Jesus know us. That we are worriers, aren't we? We're worriers. Sometimes we worry about things that are in our control. Sometimes we worry about things that are out of our control. Probably mostly the latter, right? We worry about things that haven't happened. We worry about things that logically or most likely can't happen, but yet somehow we worry about them. I was thinking about a moment I had recently before going on vacation where I was worrying that something might happen to the car on the way. Even as minimal as a flat tire. And on our tight schedule of trying to get where we're going and trying to enjoy ourselves on vacation, how frustrating it would be if we had to get a tow truck to get us to the nearest tire store to get a new tire, and how long would that take? And might we have to change our hotel reservation? And might we have to find ourselves delayed? And if we get delayed, are we going to be able to get where we need to go by the time we need to get there? I found myself worrying about something that hadn't happened. And the likelihood of it was pretty minimal. But it didn't stop me from worrying. And now as I read this passage, I find myself laughing at myself, thinking, what did I gain from that kind of worry? Let me think about it. What did I gain from worrying about something that, one, I couldn't control? I can't take care of what's on the road that might puncture a tire or cause a belt to snap or anything like that. Even if I were to go and change all my tires to perfectly brand new tires, I can't change variables that are out of my control. But also I found myself worrying about something else. What if things didn't go as planned? Did you ever hear the saying, we make plans and God laughs? I don't think it's true that God doesn't like us to make plans, or that we're supposed to not make plans because that takes God's will out of it or anything like that. I think it's more a reminder to us that we can plan as many things as we want to, but that doesn't mean that they're going to go accordingly. And so in our planning, can we make space for the unknown? And can we trust that even in the midst of the unknown, God is with us? I remember a trip, this was longer ago than I care to admit, almost 20 years ago. I was working at a church camp here in Michigan, and we were on our way, the counselors on a weekend were on our way for a fun day at Cedar Point. And we were just outside of Sandusky when we passed a car that had broken down. And we all kind of thought to ourselves, and out loud, boy, that would be rough. That's unfortunate. This close to Cedar Point, and the car breaks down. Moments later, our car broke down. And we found ourselves on the side of the road next to a great wolf lodge, wondering, how could it be that the car wouldn't work this close to Cedar Point? You see, we had plans, and those plans were suddenly falling apart. We called AAA, got a tow truck out. They came and looked at it and determined that it wasn't the battery, it was the alternator. And there was no way the car was going to work again unless the alternator were repaired. We took it to a shop, and they told us the worst news of all, that it would take all day. This was before Uber and before Lyft, and we had no way of completing the trip to Sandusky to get into Cedar Point. And so we found ourselves at the Sandusky Mall, walking around and eating dinner at Ruby Tuesday, compiling our checks together from the week to help our friend repair the alternator in his car. We'd made plans and they didn't work out. But isn't it funny that 20 years later, I remember not the frustration of the breakdown and the ruined plans, But I remember the joy of spending the day with friends in a mall that we'd never heard of and never seen and never intended to go to. Have we added a single moment to our days by worrying? The answer is no. But we can enjoy every moment if we simply trust that God is with us. Doesn't mean that God's planning for things to go wrong. Only that God is with us when they do. Amen.